two of President Trump's most ardent supporters, Joe Rogan and Elon Musk, seem to have questions about how the assassination attempt on the then presidential candidate unfolded. Let's take a look.
Why did that guy try to kill Trump and almost succeeded? Why did he do that?
Well, I'd like to know that.
Well, yeah, but
that one's crazy. You know the whole deal with that guy's house, professionally scrubbed, no footprint on the internet, no social media footprint.
Yeah, there's 0% chance that he has no social media footprint.
He was in a BlackRock commercial. With this kid, we don't know anything, right? And everyone stopped asking questions, and there was never a formal report. There was never press conferences where they detailed all the information that we know currently and where the investigation stands at the moment. What we know is you have a very young kid who was filmed, they knew he was there with a rangefinder a half an hour before the event.
Elon Musk sat down with Joe Rogan on his podcast on Friday. The duo were also suspicious of why CNN had live streamed that particular rally. Let's watch what they said.
You also know that CNN streamed it live, which I do not believe they did for any other rally, and certainly not for a rally that's in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania. Like, there's a lot of weird. The fact that they wouldn't let people be on that roof because the Secret Service lady said it was sloped and it was dangerous. That's what she'd want to have. Meanwhile, the snipers that were on the other roof was a steeper pitch. It made no sense.
I totally agree. It makes no sense.
Many on the right shared the clip on X questioning CNN's coverage. MJ Truth Ultra wrote on X, Rogan and Elon Musk revisit the Butler assassination attempt against Donald Trump. Who the hell was Thomas Crooks? CNN streamed Trump's rally live that day, which they very rarely, if ever, do, especially not in the middle of nowhere. Did they want a murder on live television? Bill Ackman, billionaire hedge fund manager, wrote on X, what are the chances CNN was tipped off to stream the Butler rally? Why isn't this worthy of an investigation? It shouldn't be too hard to figure out who ordered the coverage and why.
Others are saying that, correctly in my view, we'll get to it in a second, that Rogan and Musk are ginning up a false conspiracy. CNN Communications replied to several of these X accounts. CNN provided live coverage of President Trump's Butler, Pennsylvania rally in anticipation of news about his pick for vice president. Any suggestion contrary to that fact is completely false. Bill Ackman, man, is that guy just like the world's dumbest billionaire? I mean, he just comes out with these ludicrous claims all the time. There isn't any nefariousness to why CNN were streaming that rally, which was that there was indeed speculation. Some thought that J.D. Vance might be there. This was going to be the time when Trump unveiled his running mate. The idea that CNN would get, which is what Ackman is implying, have some kind of heads up that there's going to be an attempt to shoot the then candidate, now President of the United States, and that for that reason alone they would tune in. It's just...
I think that's pretty unlikely.
I mean, it's like just the most absurd thing.
Yeah,
how does Bill Ackman get to be a billionaire? Well, he's so dumb.
Well, he might be. He's clearly not dumb, but it's a dumb thing to say.
It is a dumb thing to say, yes.
I don't think CNN had any foreknowledge of the attack, nor did anyone else. I think, what most interests me about the attempted assassination is how poorly the security performance was at the time, and so I understand why that makes people a little interested in, what's really going on here? But of course, you can take that too far and start to impute some massive cover-up or conspiracy. It's not. It was really not good that they didn't have a security perimeter that could anticipate that someone could make a not super difficult shot from that distance. The initial behavior of the Secret Service chief, or the excuses she gave, were just laughable in terms of, it was a sloped roof, so they couldn't be on it, but they had guards on a different slope. The guards who shot him dead were on a sloped roof. So all of that was very, very ridiculous. Why when the local police had warned of him were the Secret Service around Trump not radioed to get him out of there sooner? Yeah. So all of that is well worthy of investigation. In terms of the shooter's motivations and his lack thereof of a discernible motivation or a manifesto or a social media presence, I take their point that is a bit a bit unusual because in many other cases of kind of political assassination or a mass shooter type deal, we often do have them elaborating on their psychotic reasons in various ways. I don't know if enough has been done to get to the bottom of this, and so I understand why they're asking questions about it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I am, whenever we're talking about someone with the reach of Joe Rogan or the influence of Elon Musk, I'm not sure if the, just asking questions defense really is a valid one. This is like the world's most popular podcaster who is prone to these sort of flights of fancy that are then retrospectively sometimes cloaked in this, I'm just a kind of everyman asking these questions, whenever they are putting out conspiracy theories or things that are false. And sometimes he has got caught with those things to his credit. He has apologized sometimes when he's got things wrong. Back in 2020, he said a thing about wildfires in Portland, that left-wing people had been arrested for them and that this was not widely being reported. The fact it wasn't widely being reported was because it didn't happen. It was completely false. There's another kind of amusing clip from more recently in 2023 when he, going after then President Biden for his lack of mental acuity, starts laughing about Biden saying about airports during the Revolutionary War, apparently not realizing that Biden was quoting Trump, who had said that. And then when the Trump clip was played, Joe Rogan's like, I guess he kind of messed up there. So he just sort of blithely puts these things out without seeming to feel any obligation at all to verify what he's saying. And I'm not even especially anti him. I get that the casual kind of conversational approach is what endears him to people. But having that size of an audience and seeming so fast and loose with facts is, I think, not really excusable.
That's all fine. I mean, I do think we don't know enough about this shooter, and if it is being investigated by the FBI.
Yeah, but the CNN thing I meant rather than the shooter.
Yes. Well, I agree with you. Yeah, the CNN thing is just clearly not
true,
and nobody actually should think
no.
they had something.
And someone like Elon Musk also has to be at some level intelligent enough to know that that's nonsense, and so that's why I am deeply irritated by his propensity to just push these things out there that I think Musk himself is far too smart to actually believe.
I'm just looking at a recent article from the New York Post, recent as in, I think, a week ago, where they interviewed an investigator, a private investigator who's been looking into this, who thinks that he did not, in fact, act alone, which would be interesting. I would like, an update from the FBI on what they think they have learned about his motivations. That would help get CNN off the hook.
I mean, CNN doesn't even need to be on the hook. People didn't put these ridiculous things in. I am not arguing against further investigation, nor am I arguing to exonerate the Secret Service from what were glaring failures at that rally. But, anyway, the CNN conspiracy theory is such garbage.
That does it for us today on Rising. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any content. And for those of you who like to listen while on the go, we're now available anywhere you listen to podcasts. See you tomorrow.